then your father went to the war, but before that, there was kind of a little bit of a gangs in New York scenario kind of happening in Brooklyn, and just you said that they were kind of all of the left, and I'm just wondering how some of those pieces kind of shaped who you became. You were born in '47, I think. How did that all change you?
Well, it was an enormous impact on my life, and I can say that if that had not been the case, I would not be here, and I would not have received the melodrama of her life as a part of mine. And she was a tough little bird, apparently, and she had every right and reason to circle this central drama. She was my own Thoreau, because there's this famous story about Thoreau refusing to pay the taxes for the Mexican War, and Ralph Waldo Emerson visits him in the jail, and he says, "Henry, what are you doing in there?" And Thoreau looked at him and said, "Ralph, what are you doing out there?" So
It's yeah, very fitting on times like they are today as well, right? That story.
yes. And then my mother, my grandmother, was a upfront witness to the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire, which was one of those catastrophes that kept plaguing the newly arrived immigrants, and you couldn't avoid that catastrophe, that terrible event. And my grandmother, who was only 11 or 12, came upon the remnants of that awful pile of death. 154 girls, all from Eastern Europe, and just then learning the mechanics of learning English, and they had none. She had to learn, and very quickly, because they gave her no allowance for the time spent on her English lessons. And so the reason that they say they gave for locking up the windows to get to the fire escapes is because that they were taking too many cigarette breaks, and so they locked the windows from the outside. And that was the doom of those women. And I grieve for that experience and for those girls, but they were also beyond belief. They had created a mythical series of images of gods and goddesses, because as they stepped out and their hair, which was their prize, their hair was burning. And with the sun coming in from behind them, they looked like the goddesses of the Norse trilogy. And that lasted for a half second. And then they held hands and stepped out onto nothing. And they then, holding hands because they were they loved each other, and they loved about to do. These girls who hardly had time to store their toothbrushes, 154 of them stepped out into nothing, and they were betrayed by that nothing. And they fell right at my grandmother's feet. I shouldn't say grandmother, but as they fell, they changed from being a majestic picture of gods and goddesses to the wrecked remnant of crows, all in black and all dead. They fell 19 floors, and there was nothing that anyone could do. And that's that.
Wow.
My grandmother, the story goes, turned around and went directly to the Socialist Party headquarters, and she eventually became Eugene Debs' private secretary. And that was a name that all of us knew and revered. And that's who she was.
Have you ever
And
thought of...
I see her all the time. Whenever I'm called upon to do something political, or do you have anything to say about this, Richard?
Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's of course been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just in overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you gotta pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.